In the deepest heart of the primeval jungle, where the map of civilization dissolves into an unbroken canopy, countless souls have vanished. They were drawn in by whispers of the unknown, only to be consumed by the immense, silent green. For generations, the legend of a lost city, a place they called Zed, remained just that, a fever dream, a myth told around campfires. But now, after nearly a century of silence, the narrative has been violently fractured. An impossible artifact has surfaced from the Amazonian depths. An old camera, its casing ravaged by decades of humidity and decay, has been found. And the images seared onto its fragile film reel do not offer closure. They offer a new, more profound kind of terror. These are not mere photographs of a lost world. They are a chilling window into a civilization that defies explanation, and perhaps into something far more sinister. From strange, blurred forms lurking in the periphery of the frame to ancient ruins of impossible scale, the images challenge our understanding of this planet's hidden history. From the air, new surveys reveal what was once only imagined, the vast remains of what many now believe to be the mythical city of Zed, a sprawling settlement long since surrendered to the embrace of lianas and the inexorable march of time. Majestic stone arches, intricate terraces, and all marvels align with astonishing precision to the oral traditions of indigenous peoples, stories of an advanced society that thrived in perfect symbiosis with the jungle. The eerie photographs recently recovered show these very same stone arches, lending a terrifying credence to the legends. They suggest this camera may have captured the first and last visual proof of this long-forgotten metropolis. The obsession with this place drove the British explorer Percy Fawcett into the wilderness, from which he would never return. His expedition in 1925 vanished without a trace, but his meticulous notes and maps spoke unequivocally of a complex urban center. Today, advanced LiDAR technology has vindicated his claims, peeling back the jungle's green shroud to reveal extensive networks of roads and canals. Yet the camera shows more than just stone. It shows shadows that do not belong, shapes that defy the logic of the natural world. The jungle does not merely conceal, it guards. And what it guards is not always a city of gold, but sometimes a truth too unsettling to comprehend. Perhaps the greatest discovery is not what humanity built, but the enduring power of the wilderness to erase it, to swallow our history whole, leaving behind only whispers and the haunting gaze of a lens that saw far too much. Beneath the emerald canopy of the Bolivian and Brazilian Amazon, a world erased is slowly coming into focus. For centuries, the narrative was one of a pristine, untouched wilderness, inhabited only by small, scattered tribes. But a convergence of technologies, the unblinking eye of a drone, the spectral gaze of LiDAR scans that digitally strip away the jungle, and echoes of lost photographs, paints a profoundly different and unsettling picture. Here, between the years 500 and 1400, thrived a civilization of staggering scale. A sprawling network of causeways, canals, and urban centers, meticulously engineered, confirms that large, highly organized cities once dominated this landscape. This was not a primitive outpost, but a complex agrarian society that mastered its environment, only to be swallowed by the very jungle that once sustained it. A history written in earth and water, now silenced, its full story still waiting to be deciphered from the shadows. But not all lost worlds are ancient or vast. Sometimes they are found nestled deep within the familiar woods of New England. In Waterbury, Connecticut, lie the eerie, decaying remnants of a place known as the Village of Little People. It is a miniature dominion in ruin, a collection of dollhouse-sized homes, moss-claimed churches, and a small, unsettling stone throne carved from a rock face. For decades, it has captivated and disturbed those who stumble upon it. The known history is deceptively simple. The village was the creation of a man named William Joseph Lannon, a local electrician who acquired the land in 1925. His gas station, once a thriving business, was rendered obsolete when a new road diverted traffic. In its place, he built a garden nursery, and these miniature structures were his whimsical decorations, complete with tiny ponds and electric lights. Yet the soil of this place has nurtured a darker, more persistent narrative. Local legend insists that Lannon, or perhaps another who lived nearby, was not acting on a whim. He was tormented, haunted by the incessant voisinity, driving him to madness and a tragic end. The place is now considered cursed. A chilling prophecy clings to the stone throne, a warning that any who dare to sit upon it will meet their death within 7 years. It is a place where mundane fact and chilling folklore have become inextricably entwined, a testament to our need to find enchantment and terror in the quiet corners of our world. The human imagination populates the shadows with phantoms, but sometimes the shadows hold something real. We return to the heart of the Amazonian rainforest, home to one of the planet's most mysterious mammals, the short-eared dog, Atelocynus microtis. Often called the ghost dog of the jungle, this creature was for decades considered almost mythical. Its extreme shyness and the rarity of encounters made it more a rumor than a reality. That perception began to change through the tireless efforts of biologist and veterinarian Renata Leiter Pittman, who has dedicated more than 20 years to tracking these enigmatic animals. Her revolutionary work began in the year 2000, when she first heard of the ghost dog and embarked on a long-term study in the Peruvian Amazon. Using radio collars and a patient network of hidden cameras, she pierced the veil of its secrecy. Rare footage revealed a solitary hunter moving through this creature of unique adaptation, its paws partially webbed, hinting at a life lived as much in water as on land. From the grand ruins of a forgotten civilization to the haunted folklore of a miniature village, to the fleeting glimpse of a creature that embodies the wild secrets of the jungle, each story pulls back a different layer of our world. They reveal that what we see on the surface is merely a preamble. Whether buried beneath a millennium of soil, shrouded in local legend, or concealed by the dappled light of the forest floor, the world keeps its secrets. It reminds us that for all we have mapped and measured, we remain explorers at the edge of a vast and profound unknown. In the deepest green heart of the Amazon basin, a world teeming with life, there exists a creature so elusive it is known as the ghost of the jungle. This is the domain of the short-eared dog, airy of jungle fruits and fresh meat, a balance dictated by the rhythm of the seasons. For shelter, they rely not on their own engineering, but on the abandoned subterranean architecture of giants, the deep, cool burrows left behind by giant armadillos. For years, their lives were a closed book, but a unique study led by the researcher Pittman found an extraordinary key. It came in the form of a semi-domesticated dog named Osso, a creature rehabilitated and returned to the forest. Osso became a bridge between the wild and the known, allowing Pittman to witness previously unrecorded social behaviors, a secret language of interactions hidden from human eyes. Yet, for all its spectral secrecy, this species faces brutally tangible threats. The relentless creep of habitat loss and the spread of diseases from domestic dogs push this phantom ever closer to disappearing entirely. Pitman's work remains a vital race against time, a desperate effort to understand and preserve this fleeting spirit before it fades into memory.
But not all phantoms are born of the animal kingdom. Some walk on two legs, their origins shrouded in a far more human mystery. Across the ocean, in the serene, ancient forests of Switzerland, a different kind of ghost once walked. Near the village of Maules, from the late 1990s until the year 2013, the woods were terrorized by a figure known only as Le Loyon. Witnesses described a towering entity, standing nearly 190 centimeters tall, clad in a dark, military-style boiler suit and a greenish camouflage cloak. But its most defining and terrifying feature was the old, blank-faced gas mask that completely obscured its head, giving it a featureless, inhuman visage. For more than a decade, this figure was seen patrolling the same dense forest trails, a silent, methodical sentinel who would vanish into the shadows without a trace. For years, its existence was pure folklore, a chilling tale told by locals. Then, in 2013, the legend became terrifyingly real. A photograph, captured by a nature enthusiast, emerged from the woods. The image, grainy and unsettling, showed the figure walking with purpose into the forest. It was the first piece of concrete evidence, and its dissemination across the internet transformed a local horror story into a global enigma. The blurred quality of the picture, the hidden face, the sheer strangeness of the scene, it all amplified the chilling aura, reminiscent of disturbing images found on a lost explorer's camera. Theories swirled. Was it a survivalist recluse, an individual suffering from a severe skin condition, or perhaps a mentally ill person seeking absolute solitude? The truth would remain forever out of reach. A note, purportedly left by the figure and titled "The Death Certificate and Will of the Ghost of Maules," suggested a final, tragic act, a suicide that brought the decade-long mystery to an end. Despite the fear it inspired, there were never any reports of Le Loyon causing harm, a fact that only deepens the profound sadness and strangeness of this lonely forest wanderer. The forest fell silent, its phantom laid to rest. But some mysteries leave behind not a note, but an echo, a recording of something that should not be there. In the depths of a rainforest, where few humans have ever set foot, explorers found a cave the local people spoke of with reverence and fear. They called it the Mouth of the Spirits. As the first pioneers ventured inside, an old camera belonging to one of them, its audio recorder still active, captured something truly unnerving. Later, in the sterile quiet of a lab, they heard it. Faint, rhythmic sounds, echoing from the cave's deepest recesses. It was not the drip of water or the call of any known animal. It was a soft, repeating pulse, a sound that was both organic and yet impossibly steady. It was an auditory ghost, a permanent question mark captured on magnetic tape, the heartbeat of an unknown presence. The visual evidence was gone, but the sound remained, a chilling testament to the things that persist long after they have passed from sight. For in the quietest places, the faintest sounds often tell the most profound and unsettling stories. From the crushing, impenetrable darkness, a sound emerges. It is a low, monotonous hum, hauntingly reminiscent of a distant funereal chant. Painstaking audio analysis would later reveal what the human ear could not: a distinct and deliberate pattern, a cadence that pointed not to a random natural phenomenon, but to something intentional, perhaps even ritualistic. More unnerving still was its subtlety. The sound was a ghost in the air, practically imperceptible, yet it grew in presence and clarity as explorers ventured deeper into the cavern. Its source seemed tethered to a series of ancient, elaborate carvings that lined the cave walls, friezes depicting forgotten rites and spectral figures lost to time. As the torchlight danced across these petroglyphs, the whispers intensified, as if the stone itself were trying to speak. Modern expeditions armed with sophisticated recording technology have tried and failed to replicate the eerie singing. They have mapped the acoustics, analyzed the airflow, and measured the resonant frequencies, yet the mystery endures. Some researchers posit that a unique and unrepeatable combination of geological features is responsible, a natural cathedral built to amplify the planet's subtlest vibrations. Others, however, whisper of a phenomenon that lies beyond our current understanding of physics. The local inhabitants offer a simpler, more chilling explanation. They warn that those who linger too long within the cave risk their sanity, or even their very existence. They speak of disappearances, of minds fractured by the incessant murmur. These whispers, they claim, are the spectral voices of those who dared to trespass upon ancient secrets and paid a terrible price for their curiosity. Surviving footage from one such expedition documents the terrifying interior. The flickering light of torches casting long, dancing shadows on jagged walls, illuminating a monolithic central altar. The explorer's own narration describes the escalating intensity of the sound, a rising tide of whispers as they approached the cave's dark heart. But the mysteries of the deep earth are rivaled only by those hidden in the world's sprawling, untamed jungles. From one such frontier, a relic surfaced, an old camera recovered from the decaying pack of a long-lost researcher. Within it, a photograph that defies easy explanation, a chilling image of what appears to be a human-ape hybrid staring directly into the lens. This unsettling portrait, a spectre from the annals of cryptozoology, ignites a disturbing thought. That unknown hominid species may have survived in the remote corners of the world far longer than mainstream science is willing to accept. For some, it represents the first tangible proof of a creature that has haunted human imagination for centuries. The idea is not without precedent. Colonel Percy Fawcett, the famed British explorer who vanished in the Amazon in 1925 while searching for the lost city of Zed, was rumored to have encountered strange humanoid beings during his expeditions. While no photographic evidence from Fawcett's final journey has ever surfaced, recent discoveries of old film relies seen in those impenetrable green depths. These accounts find an echo in the oral traditions of indigenous peoples, which speak of reclusive ape men or primitive isolated tribes who inhabit the most inaccessible regions, deeply hostile to any and all outsiders. Modern anthropology concedes that vast, unexplored forests may yet harbor undiscovered primate species or uncontacted human populations, but conclusive proof remains maddeningly elusive. The whispering cave and the impossible photograph are fragments, echoes from the edge of our knowledge. They challenge our neatly constructed reality, suggesting that the map of our world is not yet complete. They remind us that in the deepest shadows, ancient secrets still wait, patient and silent, for the veil of certainty to be drawn back. Near the shores of South Queensferry in Scotland, a sentinel of stone and story rises against the northern sky. This is Dundas Castle, a majestic testament to centuries of history, its walls saturated with the mysteries of a nation. Its tale begins in the year 1416, when James Dundas was granted a license by the Duke of Albany to construct a fortified keep. This original structure, the Old Keep, served as an impregnable defensive citadel throughout the turbulent medieval centuries. For generations, the powerful Dundas family, influential landowners and pivotal figures who helped shape the destiny of the Scottish realm, used the castle as both a sanctuary and a symbol. From its strategic vantage point along the River Forth, it projected their influence, a bastion of power they had maintained since the 12th century. But time brings change, and in 1818, the castle underwent a dramatic metamorphosis. The renowned architect William Byrne was commissioned to design the modern Dundas Castle, which would rise around the ancient keep, replacing earlier 17th century structures. Drawing upon his experience in ecclesiastical design, Byrne envisioned a grand Gothic revival masterpiece. His work did not erase the past, but entered into a dialogue with it, creating a breathtaking fusion of eras. The raw, defensive might of the medieval fortress was now embraced by elegant, sweeping architecture. The castle's majestic windows, which once would have been narrow slits for archers, now look out upon vast, manicured lawns and serene parkland, imbuing the formidable structure with an air of grace and permanence. While celebrated for its historical and architectural significance, the castle's remote location and age-worn stones have inevitably inspired whispers of the uncanny. Within its shadowed corridors and ancient chambers, tales of spectral encounters and unexplained phenomena persist. The weight of its long history and the atmospheric grandeur of its grounds make it a potent monument to Scotland's enigmatic past. Yet the chronicles of humanity are not etched in stone alone. Half a world away, beneath the dense, unbroken canopy of the Amazon rainforest, a far older and more enigmatic story is slowly emerging from the earth itself. Hidden from sight for millennia lie thousands of mysterious earthworks, including vast, perfectly circular enclosures, often called forest rings or geoglyphs. These staggering structures, first revealed in their entirety by modern aerial surveys, are shattering the long-held myth of a pristine, untouched jungle. They prove that this wilderness was, in fact, the heartland of complex and sophisticated pre-Columbian societies. In the state of Acre, Brazil alone, more than 450 of these geoglyphs have been meticulously mapped, with countless more scattered across the immense Amazon basin. These circular earthworks, some dug to a depth of 4 meters, are believed to have been great ceremonial and social arenas. Archaeologists theorize that they were ritual spaces designed for profound communion. Here, indigenous communities would gather, interacting with the spirits of their ancestors, the animal world, and the celestial bodies above, all through the language of sacred geometry carved into the living land. These intricate patterns were not mere decorations. They were symbolic portals, pathways to acquiring knowledge and spiritual power. They reflect a complex cosmology where the boundaries between the human, the natural, and the divine were fluid and interwoven. Recent analysis suggests that more than 10,000 of these earthworks may still lie concealed by the forest floor, pointing to a presence far more extensive and populous than ever imagined. From the defiant keep of a Scottish lord to the sacred circles of an Amazonian society, the landscape itself becomes a manuscript. One is a story of lineage, conflict, and enduring power, written in granite. The other is a story of cosmology, community, and connection to the natural world, inscribed in the very soil. They are enduring reminders that the ground beneath our feet is never just ground. It is a library of forgotten worlds, waiting for us to learn how to read its pages. Deep within the humid embrace of the American South, a miracle of light and chemistry lies hidden. Here in the quiet backwaters, the earth reveals one of its most ephemeral secrets, the rainbow swamp. The phenomenon is a breathtaking illusion, born from the slow, patient work of decomposition. As vegetation decays in the oxygen-starved waters, it releases a delicate film of natural oils. This iridescent sheen, spread impossibly thin across the still surface, becomes a prism. When sunlight strikes at the perfect angle, it fractures, refracting into a shimmering tapestry of crimson, gold, emerald, and violet. One of the most storied of these places is found in First Landing State Park in Virginia, on the very ground where the first English settlers made landfall in the year 1607. To them, there are those who seek its fleeting magic. The spectacle, however, is a fragile one. It demands a rare confluence of conditions: stagnant water, a near complete absence of wind, and the precise angle of light. A single gust, a passing shadow, and the illusion shatters, the colors dissolving back into the murky water below. Beyond its spectral beauty, the Rainbow Swamp is a living portrait of a complex and vital ecosystem. These wetlands are not merely stages for a light show. They are the planet's crucial filters, purifying water, mitigating floods, and providing a sanctuary for a staggering diversity of wildlife. The shimmering surface is a testament to the unseen processes of life and death unfolding beneath, a secret whispered between sunlight and water. Yet the secrets concealed by the earth are not always born of natural decay. Sometimes they are buried by design, remnants of a conflict that scarred the globe. Far from the known battlefields of Europe, deep within the suffocating humidity of the jungle, explorers have stumbled upon concrete scars, swallowed by vines and forgotten by time. These are the lost bunkers of the Second World War, time capsules sealed against the decades. One such discovery reveals a subterranean world, astonishingly preserved. Inside, a ghostly tableau of life interrupted. Unspoiled chambers filled with military supplies, munitions crates, and the personal effects of soldiers who once called this fortress home. These were not mere shelters, but sprawling, self-contained complexes. They were engineered with extensive underground tunnels, living quarters, and communication hubs equipped with radio arrays and ventilation systems that, decades later, can still draw a breath of stale air. Their strategic genius lay in their concealment. Buried beneath the dense jungle canopy, they allowed armies to mask critical operations from the prying eyes of enemy forces and aerial reconnaissance. Each discovery exhumes chilling questions about secret missions and forgotten battles fought far from the documented fronts. This drive to burrow into the earth, to conceal the engines of war, was a global obsession. It is echoed in the vast networks of Nazi fortifications that still honeycomb parts of Germany and line the Atlantic Wall. They stand as a testament to the scale of the war and the extraordinary lengths to which nations went to protect their darkest operations. The rainbow sheen on a quiet swamp is a testament to life's intricate, transient beauty. The bunker is a monument to humanity's capacity for conflict, a secret carved in concrete and steel. Nature, in its patient, inexorable way, cloaks both. It grows over the scars of our wars and continues its own silent, cyclical processes, reminding us that the most profound secrets are not always those we bury, but those that have been here all along, waiting for a moment of stillness to be revealed. Deep within the jungles of Costa Rica, hidden beneath a canopy of relentless green, lie some of archaeology's most perplexing riddles. Scattered across the Diquís Delta are nearly perfect stone spheres, silent monuments to a forgotten time. More than 300 of these remarkable objects have been catalogued, their sizes ranging from just a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter. The largest among them weigh up to a staggering 15 tons, their immense mass shaped from granodiorite, a hard, unforgiving volcanic rock. They were crafted by the indigenous Diquís culture sometime between the years 500 and 1500, a testament to pre-Columbian ingenuity. What makes these spheres so utterly captivating is not merely their existence, but their impossible precision and their deliberate placement. Many remain in their original locations, arranged in patterns that hint at a profound social or ceremonial significance. Archaeologists theorize they once stood as sentinels along pathways leading to the homes of chieftains, or marked the boundaries of important community centers, powerful symbols of status and authority in a hierarchical world. Despite decades of intensive research, their exact purpose remains shrouded in mystery. Some hypotheses suggest they are celestial maps representing the sun, the moon, or entire solar systems rendered in stone. Others believe they served a more terrestrial function as spiritual markers or declarations of territorial domain. The feat of their creation is no less astounding. With only rudimentary tools at their disposal, the Dikis people masterfully worked these massive boulders, using stone hammers and the patient, abrasive friction of sand and water to achieve their uncanny sphericity. Further south, where the Amazon rainforest spills across the mountains of Peru, another face stares out from the stone. Known as the Rostro Harakput, Rakput people, this is no accident of erosion. Its existence has been preserved for generations through oral tradition, a story that insists the face was carved by their ancient ancestors, not by the blind forces of nature. Archaeologists lend credence to this belief, noting the monument's precise and strategic placement, gazing out over a river valley that forms a natural amphitheater. Faint but discernible tool marks suggest it was hewn from the cliff face with primitive instruments, compelling evidence of its man-made origin. And in Brazil, the land itself is breathing new life into ancient stories. As historic droughts parch the Amazon, the great rivers shrink, their waters pulling back to expose a forgotten gallery. Near the confluence of the Rio Negro and Solimões rivers, human faces emerge from the stone, petroglyphs dated to between 1,000 and 2,000 years ago. Alongside these portraits of ancient inhabitants are smooth grooves, believed to be the very spots where indigenous peoples sharpened their tools and weapons. This recent unveiling offers a rare and intimate glimpse into the daily lives of those who thrived in this basin millennia ago. From the perfect spheres of the Dikis to the silent gaze of the Harakput and the fleeting faces on the river's edge, these stone testaments challenge our perception of the past. They are reminders that history is not merely a written account, but a landscape of buried truths, where every stone may hold a story, and every receding tide might reveal a world we thought was lost forever. Deep within the world's lung, where the canopy veils the forest floor in perpetual twilight, the earth is giving up its secrets. Revealed by the patient, inexorable forces of erosion, colossal stone visages emerge from the jungle. They are silent witnesses, connecting our modern age to the mysterious civilizations that once thrived in the Amazonian basin. These faces, weathered by uncounted centuries, offer a new, profound understanding of pre-Columbian cultures, hinting at artistic and spiritual practices far more complex than ever imagined. They stare out from the wilderness, remnants of a world lost to time, their expressions a riddle carved in stone. But not all of the Earth's enigmas are etched in ancient rock. Some are written in the living wood itself. Far from the Amazon, near the village of Nowe Czarnowo in northwestern Poland, lies a landscape of profound strangeness, the Krzywy Las, or the Crooked Forest. Here, a grove of some 80 to 400 Scots pines stands in silent, uniform deformity. Planted around the year 1930, each tree grows straight for only a few feet before bending sharply, almost at a perfect 90-degree angle, and then sweeping upwards again towards the sky. The result is an eerie, spectral wood where every trunk forms a homogeneous J-shaped curve, and in a detail that deepens the mystery, every single bend points northward. The origin of this unnatural formation remains a captivating puzzle. Some have proposed a rare natural event, suggesting a severe snowstorm or a powerful, sustained wind might have deformed the saplings in their youth. Yet this explanation falters under scrutiny. The surrounding forest, filled with perfectly straight pines of the same species and age, shows no such damage. What force of nature could be so selective, so precise in its work? Another theory points not to an act of God, but to an act of man. It posits that foresters in the 1930s deliberately shaped the trees when they were between 7 and 10 years old. The intention would have been to cultivate naturally curved timber, a prized material for building furniture, the ribs of boat hulls, or other specialized crafts. This was a known, if uncommon, practice in parts of Europe, but if this was the plan, it was never completed. The outbreak of the Second World War were purpose lost to the chaos of history. Decades of investigation have yielded no definitive answer. The forest remains a living question mark, its trees bowed in a silent, collective gesture whose meaning we can only guess. The question of human intent, lost to time, echoes in other corners of the globe, where the evidence is not of wood, but of stone, carved with impossible precision. High in the rugged terrain of Peru, the cameras of researchers have recently uncovered a series of massive, impeccably machined stone blocks that defy simple explanation. Scattered across the landscape, these stones of Pulcani possess unusually smooth surfaces and razor-sharp edges, suggesting a level of advanced craftsmanship far beyond what was thought possible for the known ancient cultures of the region. Some researchers speculate that these monoliths were part of a lost ceremonial or administrative complex, perhaps linked to the enigmatic Chachapoyas civilization. Known as the people of the cloud forest, they flourished in what is now the Rio Abiseo National Park between the 7th and 16th centuries. The Chachapoyas were masterful builders, renowned for their cliffside cities and distinctive circular stone structures. The Pulcani stones could represent the vestiges of a similar, yet undiscovered site. Modern technology has peeled back new layers of this mystery. Satellite images and drone footage reveal geometric patterns and vast stone constructions, hinting at a landscape organized with ritual or territorial significance. Certain stones appear to have been cut with interlocking joints, a technique reminiscent of other ledgy centuries. Of weathering, the stones of Pulcani retain traces of their original polish, a testament to a forgotten technology and an unfathomable dedication. They are pieces of a puzzle whose full picture has been shattered by time, leaving us to wonder at the minds and hands that shaped them. From the faces in the jungle to the kneeling forest and the impossible stones on a mountainside, these sites are more than mere curiosities. They are the faint echoes of lost narratives, the physical remnants of knowledge and purpose that have slipped through the grasp of our history. They remind us that the land itself is an archive, holding stories that we have long forgotten how to read. And in their enduring silence, they pose the most fundamental of questions. Not only who these people were, but what it is that we, in all our modernity, have failed to see. Beneath a canopy that breathes as a single living entity, the Amazon whispers of forgotten histories, fueling theories of a lost civilization that once thrived in its depths. Across the landscape, enigmatic earthworks and formations challenge our understanding of the past. While some argue that the patient hand of natural erosion could carve such shapes over millennia, their geometric precision and deliberate placement suggest an intelligence at work. the faint but persistent signature of human intervention. The forest, it seems, is a library of unread books, its secrets etched into the very soil. Yet the most profound enigmas are not always carved in stone. Sometimes they flow. Deep within the Peruvian Amazon, Isserl name, the boiling river. For more than 6 kilometers, its waters churn in a thermal fury, reaching a scalding crucible of over 90 degrees Celsius, 194 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a heat intense enough to cook any creature, great or small, that might stumble into its current. For generations, indigenous communities have revered this place as sacred ground, a domain guarded by shamans who pass down stories of a giant serpent spirit, the Yakumama, whose fiery breath gives birth to the boiling waters. For decades, the scientific community dismissed these accounts as myth. The river's existence defied geological logic. Such geothermal hotspots are almost exclusively powered by the immense energy of nearby volcanoes. Yet here, in this remote stretch of jungle, none could be found. The story of a boiling river seemed destined to remain folklore until the year 2011. It was then that geothermal scientist Andrés Ruzzo, driven by family legends, ventured into the jungle and confirmed its staggering reality. Man's apprentice, guiding him to its most sacred heart. The source of its impossible heat was not volcanic. Instead, the river is the product of a rare and magnificent planetary process. Water, falling as rain, seeps deep into the porous skin of the Earth, trickling down through fault lines into the planet's crust. There, warmed by the immense geothermal gradient of the Earth itself, it is pressurized and forced back to the surface at a furious pace. This non-volcanic geothermal system makes the Shanay Timpishka one of the hottest naturally occurring bodies of water in the world. The river's extreme temperature has forged a unique ecosystem along its banks. Flora, specially adapted to the constant heat and steam, flourish in a vibrant, almost alien landscape. But for animals, it is a boundary of certain death. The river is both a creator and a destroyer, a natural laboratory offering scientists a glimpse into how life might respond to the rising global temperatures of a changing climate. And just as the river draws its heat from the planet's hidden depths, so too does the jungle floor conceal another world below. Under the dense tapestry of roots and soil lies a vast, unmapped kingdom of subterranean caves, chambers left untouched for thousands of years. Recent explorations have begun to unveil these immense networks, finding them filled with ancient bones, forgotten artifacts, and cryptic markings. They suggest these caverns were once sanctuaries, ritual sites, or perhaps final refuges for early inhabitants. Among the most remarkable of these is the Cueva de los Tallos in Ecuador. First brought to global attention in the 1960s, this limestone cave system stretches for kilometers into the earth. Within its silent, cavernous halls, explorers have found things that defy easy explanation. Unusual metallic objects, intricately carved stones, and inscriptions that hint at a sophisticated culture with advanced knowledge. Local legends speak of the Tallos people, a vanished tribe who used the caves for their most sacred ceremonies, guarding a treasure of knowledge from a world long past. From the faint outlines of civilizations on the surface to the impossible heat of a river born from the planet's core, to the silent, artifact-laden darkness of the world below, the Amazon holds its secrets close. Each discovery is not an answer, but a more profound question, a silent testament to the planet's deep memory and our own fleeting place within its epic, unfinished story. Deep within the world's most impenetrable jungles, sacred knowledge has long been consigned to hidden chambers, silent custodians of a forgotten age. Scientific expeditions penetrating the Tapi mountains of the Amazon have begun to pierce this veil, revealing complex subterranean labyrinths. In Venezuela, the staggering cave system of Imawari Yuta descends into the earth, a network of tunnels stretching for more than 20 kilometers. Sealed from the world above, these abyssal galleries have preserved more than just ancient minerals and fossils. They are pristine time capsules, cradling unique biological species that have evolved in utter isolation across millions of years. But beyond the story of life itself, archaeologists believe these caves protected the very soul of ancient cultures. They have yielded priceless cultural artifacts and human remains, offering a profound key to understanding the sophisticated societies that thrived long before European contact. As we peel back the layers of time and the suffocating tangle of jungle vegetation, it becomes clear that the truths hidden here are far more complex and perhaps more unsettling than we ever imagined. From the lost photo cushions, these discoveries remind us just how much of our own story remains unwritten. The jungle, with its endless green canopy and shadowed depths, does not give up its secrets easily. It holds histories of wonder, terror, and reverence, histories that whisper of how fragile our understanding of the past truly is. What these explorers found, and what we continue to find, is a humbling testament to a world far older and more mysterious than we can ever comprehend.